Can I ask you another question, Claudie?
Please.
Okay. Why do you think the knowledge of the all is kept hidden?
It's simple. It's too disturbing for too many people. It would require us to step up and take responsibility for our lives. When you think about the all is and things become disruptive, like this morning's adventure trying to connect with a phone in India, it's most frustrating, and we get discouraged sometimes and just walk away. We're not going to do anything about it. So, yes, all right, you agree with that for a moment, and then you get to the point where you say, I wonder what else I can do. Maybe I can talk to somebody else, because the person in front of you may not want to talk about the all is or see where there is a difference in their lives, in their activities. I'm being very general. And
right.
So when Duane came forward or stepped up to present what he has become aware of in the all is, and to share it with all the people that he comes into contact and meet. Some people are happy to hear him. Some people are not happy. They're most frightened. And when you get frightened, you shy away, you run away, or you just slip away. For Duane to sit down and talk to you about the all is, it offers you an opportunity to explore freedom, no restrictions. In the all is, everything is as free as the air we breathe. Although sometimes we'd be coughing from the air we breathe because of its pollution. But the all is there. The all is in the sunlight that you go outside and enjoy. As long as the sunlight's not too intense or it's never there, it's difficult to enjoy sunlight. Sunlight has no agenda. It just gives. It gives the benefit of life, giving warmth, light to see in the daytime. When we become like the sunlight, we just give of ourselves to the environment we live in. We offer an opportunity for the all is to present itself through our activities. Maybe you go out and you walk in the forest and you feel the vibrations of the forest. It's life-giving oxygen to see the beautiful greenery, the grasses, the trees. In California, where Duane lives, there are trees that are hundreds of years old and very tall, hundreds of feet tall. And if you look at those trees and you feel their warmth or their vibration, I guess you could say, you become aware of another form of life. And sometimes you get an interaction. Maybe you spot a beautiful flower looking at you. The flower is looking at you. You may say, oh, that's just a flower. It doesn't have any life. Yes, it has life and it has awareness. Then you may look at something like an animal moving about, maybe a deer or a bunny or a small kitty, a kitten, a dog. Everything that's moving in the planet is in creation. Everything outside of creation is the all is. It's like the sun shining, continually giving of itself. It doesn't have an agenda. It doesn't matter if it shines on a really nice person or an evil person. It still gives. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It just shines. That's the most accurate example of what the all is. We live in creation. We see what's going on, and we experience both good and bad in our lives. And it leads us to more awareness and knowledge. Knowledge is very good, but it's not what the all is. You have to go and look for it for yourself. And it's an adventure. And it leads you to more adventures. And as you move along in life, you get to the point where you're either frustrated sometimes or you're completely at peace, aware, and feeling good about things. A walk by the ocean, being in a rainstorm, seeing lightning flash, feeling rain on your face. These are all examples of what the all is, but it's not the all is. The closest to it is sunlight. There's a famous song by a singer, I feel sunlight on my shoulders. It's the most wonderful opportunity. As the night changes into day, we have dawn, where it's just starting to break. The darkness is being chased away, and the full day comes into view so that we can go about our lives and see what's going on. Every chance we get to become aware of the all is, which is very hard to at times describe to somebody. Oh, is this God? No, it's not God. It's beyond that. We don't have gods in our day now in the New You presentation, because that was a time of the past. Just like we don't have to walk. We can drive a car. We can fly in the air. That was before the 1800s. We all had the opportunity to walk where we wanted to go or ride a horse. That was the only means of transportation. Now we have new vehicles. Some are electric, and they don't pollute. So we may choose to buy an electric car or a car that runs on water or some other kind of device that doesn't pollute. Everything in the planet is up to us to choose. To have the freedom to choose gives impetus in our lives. Evidently, what Mr. Nog wanted to talk about today, the all is, was the most wonderful subject that was being squelched. It's being stopped from being presented. This is the negative forces at work in our lives, sending us on a new direction. So here we go. We're all sharing, and at the same time, we're listening. And this is part of the activity of becoming aware and awake to what the all is. It's movement. It's not movement. It's complete silence. It's sound. It's opposites. It's all the opposites that we see in life. And yet, here it is. The best example of the all is the sun shining. Go out and look at it. Feel it on your body. And miss it at night when it's dark, sometimes stormy, but sometimes fun and enjoyable, like maybe going to a dance and hearing music of the most wonderful kind. Music is the most wonderful opportunity for us to experience different frequencies and vibrations in our lives. The frequencies and vibrations of our senses is what gives us awareness of where we are and what we're doing. In some instances, the example of a dog whistle is pertinent. Some people can hear it, some people cannot. You blow the dog whistle, the dog can hear it and will come. But a human can't hear it. Same thing with the frequency of our eyes. Sometimes we can see certain frequencies, but most of the time the human body is not capable of seeing all the frequencies that are available in the light spectrum. Some lights are above the red, some lights above the blue. We cannot see them. But a cat can see certain frequencies. We all know that flying at night emit a sound, an echo, and they can learn where they're located, where they're flying, if they're moving into too fast towards a rock or a tree or something that would stop its flight. As we go along, we learn to see things. We feel with our senses. We feel the warmth of the sunlight. We feel the cold of snow, so that it's just a chilling experience. Where Sandy and Bob are right now, it's very cold. They're having extreme weather. Again, something for us to observe, see what we can figure out from it. Every time we get a chance to explore our our life, to see what's there, what makes sense. If it makes sense in our life, we're on the right path. What doesn't make sense is what people do to destroy themselves and the planet they live in. We only have this one planet that we are on at the moment. And it seems that there are many people who are busy, very, very busy, polluting it, destroying it. Fires and volcanoes are erupting. Tsunamis occur in the ocean because the earth is moving and changing about. Some people, myself included, feel that the earth is sentient and able to express itself, but we can't hear it. It may express itself through the movement of rock or plates in the ground, in the crust of itself. We have so much opportunity to see what we don't ordinarily know. Knowledge is great. It's a wonderful thing. The more you know about things, the more you become enlightened, so to speak. But it's not everything. There's more to life than just what's in front of us, just eating, going to work, and being enslaved in that activity because you have to eat, and you need shelter, and you have to take care of your family if you have a family, and you have to go to work. And it's good to have a good job, but if you have a terribly hard job, it's most defeating to the person. So here we go with an opportunity. Can we change it? Can we have better in our lives? Is there a benefit to helping the earth become clean? Is there a benefit to helping children see more than what's being taught in a school through rote memory or in teachings in the school that may not be correct and is opposite? This way we're led along down the path and forced, in a sense, to believe one way, which leads us back to freedom. We all want freedom to explore and to see and to be. Being incarcerated in jail for a political thought or because of a crime you committed, we learn a lot of lessons from that. There was one gentleman in America who was incarcerated in jail, and he studied birds and became an expert in the activities of a certain type of bird that would come to his jail cell window. And he, over the years, wrote many volumes of books on the activities of this particular bird, on what it could sing and do. And he became enlightened, I'm going to say, because he learned to know about what the bird is doing and how it sings. And it cheered his heart. It made the time that he spent in jail more easily accepted, so that when he finally passed from this earth, he had an awareness, a knowledge and awareness of life that wasn't human. That is a very important thing. We come across many animals on our planet. Some fierce, have fangs and claws. Some are soft and gentle. Little field mice that run and scurry about and live in the little holes in the ground. How about a big cow or an elephant or a giraffe? Watching a giraffe walk gives one an experience of height and movement. To see them eat the leaves off of very tall trees is really amazing. To see a giraffe get a drink of water, sometimes it's humorous because it's such a tall animal. It has to bend down very low, which makes it easy prey for maybe a lion or something. So it has to be very careful. It cannot just be unaware of what it's doing in order to survive its life. Lions are very, very, very fierce creatures. They have a roar that you can feel that makes you very aware of its presence. And if it's not a tame lion, it's a wild lion, it may look upon you as lunch. Oh, that's a nice, tasty tidbit for me to eat. As we live on our planet, and especially now in this most modern age where we have unlimited electronics that don't work, like right now, or can be easily interrupted by, say, a force that is bent, very strongly bent on not having us know knowledge, know things, hear other people's thoughts, what's going on. When Duane speaks about the all-is, we are able to see through his eyes another dimension, a part of life that is most precious. It is an opportunity given to us from the all-is because Duane stepped up. He volunteered to share the information he had come into to others so that their lives can be better and have a benefit and that we can see more. To see more is one of the most wonderful opportunities, in my opinion, that gives us our life meaning and brings us to a point of awareness. Become aware of the all-is. What an opportunity, not to be missed in this lifetime. And yet, in many particular religions or philosophies, people believe, yes, we have come here before. We have heard experiences of people who say, I remember my last lifetime on the planet Earth, or I remember a lifetime. I was a fisherman in one lifetime, or I was a street worker, or I was a political figure. Every opportunity to see parts of ourselves that we are not recognizing gives us openings of freedom. We're learning how to conduct our lives and seek benefit for ourselves. Each of us individually can explore the all-is, can see the all-is, can become aware of the all-is. And you say, what is it? Well, it's nothing. What do you mean it's nothing? It's nothing. You can't hold it or see it or feel it or eat it. What you can see, hold, feel, and eat things. That's part of being all-is. It's life. The all-is life. Life in its most precious moments. The birth of a baby. The death of a family member. The feelings that we go through. Sometimes we're given enlightenments that help us move through life more easily and gently and give us time to consider our planet and what we're doing on it. As we live our lives, we have an opportunity to follow certain paths, many different religions, many different political thoughts and philosophies. Each one is an example of what life is and what life shouldn't be. So freedom and sharing with your fellow man or woman or child is an opportunity precious and not to be missed and not to be abandoned. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak and offer a point as we move along in this wonderful adventure of not communicating with India today, even though their lines of electronics are working? Some are not working. They're being prevented from working. This is a wonderful viewpoint of life for us to observe at this very moment. We all came here to hear what Mr. Nog is going to tell us about his experience of the all-is. He's going to share with what he's learned in India. It just happens to be the same thing that we're learning from Duane in America. And who knows what other countries are available. The Aborigines in Australia, New Zealand, the indigenous tribes in South Africa, each one has an opportunity to present information that they have learned by living their life. Some tribes have painted pictures of the past on the walls of caves. What a wonderful experience to see cave paintings. These are people that lived a long time ago. And when we see with the geologists and archaeologists uncovering the bones of elephants or tigers that lived in the prehistoric age, they give us information. They had to have certain physical appendages on their body to get about. As our scientists study our cells and how they change over time and what they experience from heat or stress or food that's not natural, it changes you. It makes you different, and you have different thoughts. So I'll check again. If anybody wants to say anything, please speak up.
Well, thank you, Claudia. That was absolutely wonderful. I came across a very interesting quote in a book. Actually, it was in David Icke's book, and it was, knowledge comes from study, but wisdom comes from observation. And observation, that was the end of the quote. And I thought that was very interesting. And the secret of seeing the all is, or becoming in tune with all life, has to do with awareness. Awareness is observation. That's what observation is all about, being aware. And so while we're waiting for Nog to come on, which I think he's actually going to, I think he's actually going to come through. It might be a few more minutes yet. I didn't know anything about Nog until like yesterday, and I understand that he is from India and has had a lot of experiences working with masters and people over there that were kind of off the radar for us over here in America. And Duane, you're on. Do you have any insight into exactly how he connected or any of that we can talk about before he comes on?
In regards to, what was that, Bob? The connection?
Yeah, well, I guess there's a bunch of masters that have connected with a new you over there, and the all is, that we didn't know about. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I haven't investigated everything, but what Nog brought up on the Skype the other day is very interesting. It's a lot of fun to discover that. So again, everybody has their secrets. Don't investigate everything, but things are what they are on the earth, and yes, just like the governments of the world, they're not telling everything, so there are other people that aren't telling a lot of things also, but again, it's, people have the information about these things, but it doesn't mean they have the recognition. There becomes a difference, and so the real guides see who does and who doesn't, or who wants to start this way, etc. So there's so many masters and gurus that profess something, but when you go to the real side, you see really where their awareness and especially their intent is. So that becomes the difference. It's not just because they've studied or know things. And yes, the idea of wisdom and whatever, it's a branch of knowledge. It becomes so, but the reality of the ISSS life is that's a very special particular to observe and recognize. So again, I'm not sure what people are doing all over the world. Again, I mind my own business, so my position is, let's see who shows up as we present this to the world. You see?